Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Cover to Cover. As you see there, Boat was holding up the Rancid album, and out come the Wolves.
And out come the Wolves.
You know, I saw that album cover and I didn't realize it was a guy on steps for about 3 or 4 days. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Really?
I thought it was just like some abstract art, you know, some black with the red and stuff. And then I go, oh shit, it's a guy with a mohawk.
Yeah, the handlebar over here.
Bro, I wasn't paying attention to it. I thought it was some kind of abstract art.
It's actually the singer, or one of the singers.
Did you do the old Peter Parker? You do one of these?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy on some steps. Getting old.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the evening.
Happy Easter.
I'm excited
Happy
about
Easter.
this one.
Why?
This is a great album, I think. You know, this is one of my picks.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
Anyway, so Rancid,
It's Rancid, baby.
a band I'm somewhat familiar with.
Yes.
I know Jim's really familiar with them. And I had previously said that I had never heard this album, but after I listened to it once, maybe the second time, I'm like, you know, that this sounds a lot more familiar than just a couple of songs. So I'm thinking maybe I've heard bits and pieces of this album, maybe in my buddy's shop, because he's a big fan, and he actually added more to his comment that I had previously shared with you guys about the album. So we'll definitely share that. I asked him if it was okay to share his feedback on the album, and he said absolutely. So
You listened to this album twice?
I see, this is one of those things where when you don't physically own the album, it becomes more difficult, because I'm a big proponent of listening to the albums like to and from work.
Yeah.
In my vehicle, and occasionally when I can listen to it in the office, listen to stuff in the office, I will, but I just, for some reason or another, I wasn't able to.
I'm the same way, Donnie. I pretty much do all my listening to and from work. Or, you know, on Saturday or something, I'll throw it on and listen to it.
Yeah, I do that as well.
I wanted to try to give it another listen today, and it didn't happen.
I listened to it twice, 3 times, not the whole way through, all 3 times. The first time, a couple of days after our last show, then during the week I touched up on certain parts, and then today I heard it again. I went through every song today. Didn't listen to it the whole way through, but I listened to every song, you know, just to get a feel for it again.
I listened to it 3 times today, and
I've listened to it.
You're trying to get acquainted with it, see if you do like it,
Yeah.
because you're not sure yet, right? You're still trying to figure it out. You're not sure.
No, I'm very familiar with this album.
Oh, okay.
But when we were on our break for the end of the season, I binged this album a ton, like 8 or 9 times.
Nice.
I was very familiar with it going in.
Me too. But I gave it a 3 times listening to it since Friday.
Is this your favorite? You picked this album?
Yes.
Is it your favorite Rancid album?
Yes.
Okay.
Their one before this is really good, because this is their 3rd album.
Yes.
Their second album, Let's Go, is really, really good.
This will put them on the map, though.
Yeah.
Is this? I never heard Rancid before. I knew one song on this album. Do you see them evolving, or is it the same? Or is like their first couple albums?
Their first couple albums are faster, and this one kind of slows down, and then they kind of, I would say they almost stay the same surpass this album. To me, they do.
Okay. Sorry,
Right.
Donnie. Sorry, Donnie.
No, we're talking about the album. I mean, to be honest with you, I was fully prepared to let Jim and Boat just run the show. I was just gonna do my usual introduction to the album and just free flow it, because just add a few of my own kind of thoughts. But I guess I'll just do that. As Boat said, this is Rancid's third album, and it was released on August 22nd of 1995. So what, 28 years old? It'll be 28 years old. It was recorded between February and May of 95 at Fantasy Studios in Berkeley and the infamous Electric Lady Studios.
Real quick, Donnie, I'd like to cut in and just add a little footnote to that. They recorded like half of the album in California, and they done quite a few songs in New York. Well, when they went to, we always fall on these like anniversary type things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually flew to New York on Easter Sunday to start recording the rest of the album, which was today.
Isn't that freaking crazy?
Cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I heard that last night, and I about crap. So I took some notes, you know, some of the stuff I was listening to the guys talk about. And
this is that one that you sent me.
Yes.
I didn't get, obviously I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
Yeah, I took down some notes, so I have a few, not a whole lot, but I got a few notes for certain songs and stuff, backstories of them and stuff that, you know, we can get to once we get to that point.
Awesome.
So,
it was released on Epitaph, and produced by Jerry Finn.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the other points that my buddy had made about Jerry Finn.
So this album was pre-Hellcat, right?
yes,
Okay.
because Tim started Hellcat.
Yeah.
Was that a label?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his label, like under Epitaph, which in the early to mid 2000s and late 90s had a killer lineup. Nowadays they got like 4 bands, and like one of them's okay.
Is that Miss So?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in early 2000s, they had like Joe Strummer and, you know, multiple good bands.
Crap
But
ton. Like they were like the punk label of the 2000s.
But I guess like kind of back to the recording of this album. Sorry to cut you off, Donnie.
No, go ahead.
Try to help you coast along with the little bit that I know. When this album exploded, it was kind of like when the wave of like new punk kind of happened, you know, and the Green Days and the Offsprings and stuff like that.
That's the point. I was going to make that point too.
They went to Billy Joe Armstrong, who is the singer of Green Day, and they asked him if he would join Rancid, play guitar. Because they all grew up around the old Gilmore Street.
Yeah, Operation Ivy, Tim's old band, was a house band at this one club, and Green Day started there too, and they're the ones that exploded, and Rancid eventually did catch up, but so they were already pretty close.
Where did they come from? Where are they from?
San Francisco area, isn't it?
Okay.
San Francisco, LA.
East Bay is where Rancid's from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, East Bay.
And I believe Matt Freeman was in Operation Ivy with Tim Armstrong.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll show this later on.
Which is another like
Keep holding that up. I'm going to try to get you.
underground, I guess, a popular underground band, I guess you could say. They made like one album.
Thanks.
They made
Thanks,
one album. They put out a 10-inch. This is the 10-inch they put out, but their album Energy is like one of the best. People regard as one of the best punk albums. Period. Like top 10 of all time. Like with the Ramones.
And they had that ska punk sound.
Early third wave.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is Rancid still around?
Yes.
Yes. They just recently put out an album like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
One of the points that I was going to bring up, you kind of alluded to, Jim, the fact that this was part of that. I mean, 95 was a big year because it was part of that group of albums, along with Bad Religion and Green Day and The Offspring,
Yeah.
kind of reinvigorated
Mhm.
the punk scene.
No Effects kind of blew up. MXPX, I think, kind of blew up.
Oh yeah, MXPX. I don't know why I forget about them. But it was also a huge success for this album. Was a huge success for the band. It was like I think you said at the beginning of the show, it put them on the map.
Yeah, and I think it helped shape or influenced. I think they kind of they kind of made their own genre. I mean, they kind of pulled off of Operation Ivy,
Yeah,
but
there's ska street punk thing like that.
like a ska punk, you might hear a little reggae or something in there, or they added a little bit of Clash to it.
Yeah.
It kind of laid a good foundation for them as a band, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they at heart they were a street punk band like GBH and stuff like that.
Or a lot
Casualties.
of oi music, from England.
Yeah, you can hear a lot of those.
And that's the way they dress. They'll have spiky hair and mohawks and stuff.
Right.
Bro,
You can hear a lot of those influences.
There's so many influences here.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
God. I was hearing Madness, One Step Beyond.
Yep.
I was hearing you just mentioned it.
London Calling.
London Calling, yes. What's that? The Clash, yes.
Yeah.
But my God, so many influences. It almost feels like it came too late. It's like I could have seen them in the 80s, as one of those bands rather than in the 90s. It's just so much influence.
But at the same time, around the same time, 95, 96, right, maybe even 94, I don't know. Ska was, when I was in high school, there was a lot of ska people that like ska music.
Yes.
I never liked it back then.
No Doubt, right? Wasn't No Doubt?
Yeah, No Doubt kind of broke through. But there was
Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah, the Ball Stones, and I mean, there was a crap ton of bands that.
I hear Madness, One Step Beyond, so much, and quite a few songs, the same licks. It's like, oh my God, dude, and you can see the influence, bro. I really.
It's literally a melting pot of everything
Yes.
they like. They put in the one sound.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know, like the opening song, it's like balls to the walls, and then it slows down, and then you get that ska groove going, man, and it's to me, it's, some people might think it all kind of crams together sound wise, but I think it kind of flows real nicely.
I think it flows better. I wasn't a fan of System of a Down. I wasn't. I couldn't get into it. This I got into, and System of the Down felt like that. These songs, they flow together, but I could tell which, each individual song has its own style, even though it's all the same style. All the different mash of songs.
And the styles also change with Lars singing and Tim singing, and when they sing together.
It's good.
Which I think is like, it's like the cherry on top, where you have a band that can switch singers like that, and you're not stuck with the one front man.
To me,
because it makes the sound.
It's more dynamic.
Yeah, more dynamic to the sound.
Lars and Tim are like the punk rock equivalent to Lennon McCartney. Like,
I agree. Well said.
Well said.
Well said.
Because they both wrote all the songs pretty much.
And I want to say later on, Matt Freeman even sang a song or two.
Matt Freeman sang some on the first two.
Yeah.
This one he didn't.
So I mean, they're the punk rock Beatles, I say, because if you listen to all their albums, they're good all the way through. They're phenomenal albums. They're a phenomenal band. They don't put out, a few good songs and the rest is fillers or garbage, They're actually good albums all the way. I like Indestructible, that was another great album. I mean, I don't know, you can't name a bad one.
Continue.
Sorry to go off the beaten path.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's perfect. I want to. I want to. I can't wait till I get to the point in the show where, what's your favorite song? What's your worst song? I can't wait to get to that point because I got a whole take on that. Well, we'll get that later. Stay tuned.
So yes, they did have their 20th anniversary in 2015. The vinyl we have is a remastered album that we showed.
Yeah, because when this came out, this did originally release on vinyl.
So a few more years, this baby's going to be 30 years old, and I cannot believe that. That's just weird to even say.
We're old, Jim.
Man, getting old just ain't for old people no more.
Mm-mm.
It's only gonna get worse.
So I guess I'll help you with this, Donnie, because I guess that's what it's hard to say, I guess. So Rancid formed in Albany, California in 91. I think you already mentioned this, didn't you?
I don't think I said anything about them forming.
Okay, they formed in 91 and signed to Epitaph Records, founded by Bad Religion's guitarist Brett Gurwitz. And in 92, they debuted their first album, their self-titled album, Rancid. While Rancid was already writing another album, Green Day was Billy Joel was when he was with Green Day. I guess that's when they asked him to join. No, I'm falling off the wagon here. I'm sorry, guys. Billy Joe Armstrong, I guess, wrote this. He co-wrote the song Radio, which led him to play a live show with the band. See, this ain't my strong point, Donnie. You're making me do this. That's when they asked him to become a member of the band, but he decided to, keep playing with Green Day, and that's when they asked Lars again, and he initially turned it down, but after Billy Joe declined, Lars said, "You know what? I think I will join the band because I need to be in this band. I'm going to make it better."
If he didn't, he probably would still be like a no-name artist.
I mean, it would be interesting to think
Rancid
with a Billy Joe Armstrong in it, because it wasn't, to me, it wouldn't have the same attitude.
And his voice doesn't fit.
I was just going to say that. There's a different.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a different punch to the two bands.
With Lars, they have a lot more attitude. Sounds a little more rougher. What I think a punk band should sound like. Personally, I think they should have a little bit of an attitude and rough sounding. That's one reason why I never got into the MXPXs and all the pop punk stuff.
They seem harder.
Yeah.
Than Green Day.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
They sound harder, more street than Green Day.
They were a street punk band.
Yeah, you could. I don't know. I'm not a big Green Day fan either, but Green Day just seem more radio friendly, more, these people seem more authentic, I guess is the word that I'm looking for.
So I guess their second album was released in 1994, Let's Go, and right after that release is when Green Day released Dookie and Offspring. So Smash album came out. So that's like when the whole new punk kind of blew up. Rancid was pursuing different labels at the time, and Madonna was interested in them for Maverick Records.
Yeah.
But they turned them down, and they decided to stay on Epitaph because I think Epitaph was more of an independent, so they had more freedoms to control what they made and how they did it and stuff. And I think that's why they stayed with them.
Yeah, I don't think it would have sounded as rough if they would have went to a huge label for their
Yeah. There was
album,
a bidding war.
third album.
Which now Epitaph is like one of the largest independent record labels around.
Yeah, they're huge.
Which I think a lot of that comes to play with Rancid because, after Rancid blew up, and they pulled in other bands and stuff, and so I mean a lot of times you'll see Epitaph on, right next to the Hellcat logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a subgenre of Epitaph.
Which makes, I guess you could kind of wonder if they had chosen to go with somebody else rather than Epitaph, how much of that influence was involved in the building up of that label.
Right, I agree.
Would they have, if they had gone somewhere else with a different label, would they have pulled those bands that way?
I've heard a few people comment that not necessarily Rancid sold out on this album, but they slowed down a lot with this album. So I mean, it could have been worse if they went to,
more commercial,
a more commercial label.
Yeah, because their first two albums are breakneck speed, like they're real fast.
Does it still have the ska feel?
Yeah, some of them do. But that's like in Tim's roots, though. That's he plays like a ska guitar player. That's what he was.
What label are they on now?
Hellcat still.
Hellcat, yeah.
Okay.
Or Epitaph / Hellcat.
So they never went to one of those other labels then.
No,
they're still on.
Yeah, their whole career's been pretty much with them or the Hellcat thing. Like I stated earlier, they recorded some of this, like at least half the album in California, then flew to New York to finish up some of the recording. And some of the songs on this album, they mentioned New York, and I believe because they were there and they were writing stuff, and they put it all down. And one of the songs, particular, 11th Hour, which is the second song on the album, it was the last song they recorded in New York, and they only had literally 1 hour left of studio time when they were recording this album. So they said that they had recorded this song at 2 a.m. in the morning with an hour left of studio time, which I thought was pretty interesting, and that's why it got the 11th Hour song name.
Cool.
Another one I think they mentioned was Olympia, that they wrote in New York, and there was a story about, I guess Tim was already there, and Lars had hooked up with a girl. Girl turned out to be something that he wasn't interested in, I guess, or weird or whatever. So he left, hooked up with Tim. They went over by the harbor next to one of the aircraft carriers, and they wrote Olympia, and they had a little tape recorder, and so they did it like an acoustic recording right there. And some of the stuff they mentioned in that song is like when they went down to Lower East Side, and like some of the Puerto Rican gangs was, calling Tim El Diablo and this, that. So he mentions that in the song, which I thought was pretty cool.
I agree.
A little history on some of the songs. Also, I thought was cool, the first song, Maxwell Murder. Matt Freeman did his famous bass solo. He did that in 2 takes.
Very nice.
So I thought that was pretty awesome. But everything that they sing about on their albums, I think all their albums really, they just sing about stuff that they've experienced or stuff they've done or things they know. And, it's basically street punk, they're singing about the street, just like gangster rappers sing about gangbanging, because that's what they do.
Right.
That's what they know. That's what they grow up in. So
What's the other song? That's Journey to the End. That's the other bass that starts with the bass.
Yeah.
Is it? I can't remember.
Because I know there was one. I believe it's Journey, and it goes on for. It's a real cool start to that song.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Matt Freeman's such a good bass player.
Really good.
So where are we at now? Out Come the Wolves was released in August of 95 and peaked at number 45 on the Billboard 200 charts. 5 months after its release, the album was certified gold. In 2004, it was certified platinum.
Platinum.
So that means it did a pretty good job. Let's see. As far as the charts go, it peaked at 45 in the US in 95. Platinum, 1 million albums.
They're peaked 74 in 2016. So even recently, it's been doing good.
That's pretty good. That was right after the re-release.
I was just going to say that probably has to do with the re-release. Going back into the charts.
Yep. You guys want to talk about the album cover? The album cover is a tribute to Minor Threat, the band, one of their album cover, which I always thought it was Ian MacKaye on the front, but it actually was his brother Alec, which was sitting on the steps and stuff, which I have that picture I will share so you can see the original.
How many members are there in the band? 4?
Yeah, it's a 4-piece.
Okay.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. I was trying to picture the original album or the album cover that they were homaging, and I couldn't. Now I recognize it.
So that's the Minor Threat one, and there's theirs.
That's
And
cool.
I love this cover. This is probably one of my top favorite covers of all time. I just think it's badass.
Dude, for some reason, man, punk album covers seem to nail it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're always so much better than everything.
They really nail their album covers, bro. Even the back, just a car like that, nails it.
The aesthetic is on
Yes.
point. It and it's so simple.
Yes.
And I've noticed too, if you watch anything, because Tim Armstrong, he does like movies and videos and stuff like that. He always likes to do in like the black and white. You know, here's his Give 'Em the Boot DVD.
Which
You
one?
know, a lot of videos look like this.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was a series that they had. Hellcat had of all their bands, like a
Hellcat.
yearly best of.
Yeah, like the compilation albums they put out every year.
There's a tattoo style that's just that black and white and red. I forget what it's called. Something punk. I don't remember what kind of style that is, but I like that red,
Yeah,
white, and black, right?
I like it too.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of my top favorite albums.
Slow it down a bit. Going too fast.
Take it over. I don't want to. You take over. Do something.
Take over.
I've been doing it. Come on,
There you go.
do something.
Yeah, this movie has like all of their bands on it. You can see some of them.
You can't see that. You're gonna have to read them.
Rancid, Dropkick Murphys, F-.
Go back a little bit and come back, I guess.
Fuck us.
It ain't gonna work.
Fuck us.
Dropkick Murphys, F-, Horror Pops, Joe Strummer, Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards, Necromantics, Nerve Agents, Roger Merritt and the Disasters, Slackers, Tiger Army, Transplants, US Bombs. All those are phenomenal bands.
Have you guys seen Rancid in concert? Have any of you seen Rancid in concert? Okay.
I did. I saw him in 03 at Warped Tour.
Okay. Wow. Where?
St. Pete.
Nice. They headlined or?
Yes.
That's what he was looking for.
That's what I was looking for. I had pictures from that show, and earlier in the day we kind of got to slip into the old backstage area, and I saw Lars, kind of in the distance at one of the tables with a few other guys playing. They were playing dominoes, and he was smoking a big old stogie. I'm like, man, I want to go
dominoes, my kind of guys.
I want to go up there so bad and talk to him, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
So I checked him out I've always wanted to meet Lars, man. I've always wanted to meet him, but yeah, I was kind of a fangirl in at that time. Like, oh my God, there he is. There he is.
It's probably best that you didn't.
Yeah, I would have embarrassed myself.
Yeah.
Security, get this guy out of here.
I want to take a moment to say hi to Tacoma. It's been a minute.
Yes, Tacoma did. Warped Tour did sell out big time. I would say 2003, 2004 was like the last decent year that I went. 2004 was the last year I went. After that, the bands got sorrier and sorrier. And even those years, there wasn't a whole lot of good bands. Like I said, that particular show with Rancid, Dropkick Murphys, Rancid, and I forget who else. Those were like really the only reason why I wanted to go.
When was the last Warped Tour? You guys know?
I don't even know.
It didn't go past 2010, right? Or did it?
I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I lost interest.
Dude, I think I took my son to one. And I can't remember anything about it, bro.
The only reason why I went to the last one I went to in 04 is because Lars Fredriksson was playing with the Bastards and Tiger Army. That was the only reason I went. Oh, and the Casualties. They played that show.
I'll agree with that.
Very cool.
Yeah, Dropkick, they put on a good show. But Al Barr ain't been with them this year because he's been taking care of his mom. I guess his mom's dying or something. So the band, Ken, kind of took up the reins and was doing the whole shows, the tours and stuff.
Who are the Casualties?
They're a California punk band. They kind of like street punk. They have they're like a Latino punk band, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Like,
dude, that's a great name for a band, bro. The Casualties, a punk band,
right?
Yeah, they're like
that's a freaking great name for a band.
I know the singer. I think the singer, and I don't know if they're all Mexican or not, but I know the singer's Mexican. Big old like Liberty spikes,
Yeah, they were definitely inspired by GBH.
Yeah. Or even what's the other one? Not GBH, but The Exploited.
Yeah, that's it.
The Exploited.
Yeah, that's the Casualties is a lot like The Exploited.
Oh, check this out.
Nice.
Heck yeah. That when I saw them, they put on a damn good show. It was some high energy show.
It seems like freaking Rancid probably puts out a freaking high energy show, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a good show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moshing, or
yes and no. I mean,
right?
Pogo.
I mean, yeah, you don't really ain't too much moshing to like the ska type stuff. But
Yeah, I don't think you would to this, right? Not too much, if
Like,
at all.
First two albums, probably.
Okay.
But
so take it away. Go do something.
I already said everything.
You told me.
Okay, let's do the songs then. Let's do the songs.
Okay,
Yeah.
Donnie.
I never even thought about reaching out to Simon, see if would have been interested in coming on with us. Because I know he, like he said, he had a punk band, and did some
Dude, that would have been great.
time in the circuit. Him being halfway around the world, it's oftentimes difficult to mesh the schedules.
Right now, I think it's early morning for him.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
which
tomorrow.
is so cool.
He's in the future.
Yeah, he's in the future.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go straight into the songs.
There's so for me, I can't even pick a favorite song really because there's so many good ones, man. This
is like a best of.
This is like a Beatles album to me, man. Every song is good.
Oh, look, it's Monday, 10:50 in the morning over there.
Yeah, go. It's almost lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to point out, along with the aforementioned Clash influence, the fact that there's 19 songs on this album.
Yeah, for a punk album, that's insane.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's my
crap ton of songs on this album,
dude. And you know what? Me, first time listening, that's my only downer on this album. I think it's way too many goddamn songs. Where it gets to the point where it's just too many songs. Yeah. I think they could have maybe done 30, 35 minutes tops, and they could have used this on another album, the rest of the songs. But to that point, I do have my favorite song. There are no bad songs on this album. No.
I didn't hear any bad ones.
There's no, oh man, this really doesn't go here.
Filler.
Yeah, there's no filler. All the songs, like you said, it's almost like a greatest hits. Not that I know the rest of their stuff, but there's no song that sticks out like, man, I don't want to hear that again. That's my favorite song is Time Bomb. And I like the Journey. The Journey's Time Bomb
Time Bomb is so great.
That is such a freaking great song.
If you like Time Bomb, you would definitely like Operation Ivy because that's like an entire album of that.
That is so good, bro. That's just to get up and go crazy. I love it, dude. It's so good.
Every song has that uplifting. You're like, yeah,
yes, yeah, dude. You just it's good. They're all freaking good songs, man. There's not a bad song.
I know.
My only critique is there's too many songs. That's it.
Like I said, it's definitely hard for me to pick a favorite. I really like Listed MIA. I mean, I like the popular ones, obviously, Time Bomb, Ruby Soho, stuff like that. But I've heard those hundreds of times.
Right. But they're all good.
Yes, I'm not tired of those.
Mm-hmm.
I like Listed MIA a lot. The two that I really always really enjoy hearing is Old Friend and As Wicked.
I like Old Friend. Old Friend's one of my favorite ones on this. I did like that a lot.
I'll go with Old Friend.
Old Friend's an excellent song. I like it a lot.
Since I can't pick the whole album.
Yeah. That's probably Journey. I like Junkie Man.
Junkie Man's good. I'd say Avenues and Alleyways. That's a good one. That or The Way I Feel, the last track.
They're all freaking good, man. There's no bad song on this album.
No.
By O.P. I will. I was very happy to hear this. I'll hear this album again.
So that concludes the worst song, right? Because I mean, what would you say is would be a song that you were less appealed to?
I don't have one.
I honestly, I'd probably have to let it spin a couple more times before I could even come close to thinking about that.
Yeah, there's no song that seems out of place.
Yeah.
That slows it down or speeds it up. It's a really freaking good album, dude.
The first time I heard it, I really didn't like The War's End because it was such a slow song.
Mm-hmm.
But it bridges everything together, and it's the album that makes it not sound all exactly the same. But I think She's Automatic is just kind of forgettable. It's not bad. It's just not as memorable as the others.
Some songs don't stick out.
But doesn't mean they're bad.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I totally agree.
Like
Yeah.
I forget that song's on the album.
She's Automatic is, I mean, it's a good song, but
Just forgettable.
it's not one I look forward to when it comes up.
I'm not at that point yet. I think there's nothing that I'll want to fast forward or skip or anything. Maybe after a few more listens, maybe. But
Yeah.
Oh,
you just put it on and you just listen, let it play. Just
it's really good for like long drives.
it'll keep you awake. It'll keep you up, right?
Actually, it's the opposite.
It's good for
Sure.
Puts you to
parties.
sleep.
It's good for parties, man.
It's good for parties, I would think, dude.
Yeah, long
Especially
drives.
when. Go ahead.
This album puts me to sleep. Long drives.
Really? Wow.
It's like perfect. It's like that and Social Distortion on long drives. It's like
You are your father. Your father's
almost
son.
calming. It's like calming.
Yeah.
In a weird
You
way.
are your father's son. Yeah.
Dude,
Rancid's calming.
Soothes the soul.
But yeah, it's great.
Dude, I could just when the party's getting, you could see everybody starting to get that good feel and everybody's starting to loosen up and all this.
Drop
And you
time
get-
bomb.
And you drop Time Bomb, dude. Oh, dude, that must be awesome, bro. That would be awesome, dude. Everybody just gets up. Everybody that's not dancing gets up. Oh,
Yeah, there's something about that ska, man, that'll get you.
dude, I could see that, bro. I would love to have experienced that. That would be
It's
a
got
blast.
the correct tempo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially throwing an organ in on there.
Yeah,
So
organ,
good.
Oh, yeah.
organ
Organ.
breakdown.
So good.
I'm a big fan of Johann Sebastian Bach, so anytime there's an organ.
Sold.
Yes. I wanna bring in my buddy's input. He said Rancid is a band that it's hard for him to choose an album. Let's Go was his first, so it's got that special place. But and Out Comes the Wolves, is a sonically perfect full album experience without a bad track, and certainly is a contender. Life Won't Wait is commendable for its experimentation because even where it fails, it still succeeds in pushing boundaries and makes for such an interesting listen. So he's kind of going over some of the other albums. Rancid 2000, aka 5 or V, self-titled 2 is a fucking statement. 22 songs in 37 minutes. It starts running and never stops. It's a loud, fast barrage and of short sprints of aggression, sloppy and rough around the edges, recorded live front to back, 2 takes, then minimal overdubs, released warts and all. You have to know Freddie. He also goes on to say, in regards to this album, that the magic ingredient was Jerry Finn's production, because he got how to make the band sound absolutely perfect. And sometimes that's all it takes is that right person behind the board.
Right.
Because if you don't, a lot of times you don't have that right guy, it ain't gonna work.
That's for sure, because the production this album sounds really, really good for, at the time, a relatively no-name band, especially a punk band. I mean,
Yeah.
punk was still, I mean, under the radar, I would say, when they came out. But I mean, they still had a little bit of an underground with like Operation Ivy and stuff like that in their local area. But man, for it to have the production level that it did, it's amazing.
I can't think of any other punk albums that sound as good as this one. It's just so crisp.
Crisp is a good word for it.
Yeah,
It's almost like if you ever heard the 12 Hits from Hell Misfits album, the unreleased album, it's very, very clean all the way through.
Mm-hmm. He also says that they have a very specific sound which goes along with that. How crisp of this album, with the bass needing to be on equal footing with the guitars and in a separate sonic range. Brett from Bad Religion was in on the mix, but his sole production on the latter half of Rancid's discography is unfortunately detrimental.
Well said.
But yeah, this is one of those albums where I gotta take it in more. I gotta have my proper setting to take it in more so that I can let it digest properly. But what I've heard so far is phenomenal.
It is.
I mean,
even the like I said, Indestructible was a great album. Let the Dominoes Fall. Is that the name of it?
I'm not sure of that one.
That one was a great album. The album after that I bought on vinyl. I listened to that one so much I haven't listened to it in years because I got burnt out on it, but it was a great album. They just produce great albums. They're the Beatles of punk rock.
Why aren't they more popular?
A lot of people don't like them because they think they're commercial or sellouts or
too big.
Or you know, I know some people that cannot stand them.
Yeah,
I love them. So I mean, there's people that can't stand the Beatles.
Yeah, each their own. But everybody's got their own taste. It's okay.
But man, they make solid material, absolutely solid material. And even I'm just gonna go out on a ledge and just say Tim Armstrong is a genius because even his solo stuff, you know, is great. This
is really good album, dude. I even saw some of the videos to the Time Bomb and a couple other ones. They look like they fucking badasses, bro.
You'll probably like Tim's first solo album.
Actually, I can't have it over here.
Can't remember the name of it. We got it, but I think you would like it because it has that reggae or that ska type sound to it too. Pretty good.
There it is.
Wow.
Really?
A Poet's Life. I would recommend that one for you, Raul.
A Poet's Life, Tim Armstrong.
There's more of that black and white.
Yep. Everything he does, black and white, and it's like handwritten.
And it works, bro. It works.
Tracks.
Yeah, but if you like this album, definitely listen to this, Let's Go, and Energy.
And some Operation Ivy in there too.
Yeah, that's Energy. That's their album. The thing is, like in all the music videos, like all the early ones, it's like the same premise: walking on the street, then playing in a basement.
Yeah, that's what it was. A lot of it, yeah.
But like in the music videos, Tim is so constrained and like their little box they're in. If you watch like live shows of him on stage, he will like, I don't know how he like doesn't die of heat stroke because he moves so much. Like he'll spin, he'll jump, he'll do everything.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place.
It's like Tourette's on stage.
That's how Lars kind of used to be. Then he had a bad back injury. Then he had to kind of settle down a little bit. He even had to change his guitars. He had to go to a lighter guitar because he used to play Les Pauls. And then because of his back injury, then he started playing the Gibson SG because it was lighter.
Wow.
Yeah, but Tim always, like in the early stuff, always played huge hollow bodies.
Still does.
Yeah.
The old Gibson kind of looks like a punk rocker's Lucille. I don't know if it would be like I don't know what Gibson's version of like the Casino, the Epiphone Casino, kind of like that.
Yeah. Is he left-handed?
Huh?
Is he left-handed?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, one thing I want to bring up is on the tour for An Outcome of the Wolves was during Ramones' final tour. So, Ramones' final show, Lars and Tim got on stage and sung a couple songs for their last show.
Wow.
Just kind of send them off because the Ramones and Rancid were pretty close in the later years of everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, that one. You can watch it on YouTube. They did 53rd and 3rd, the Ramones song, which is kind of funny because I had like a brain fart earlier, and it's like
I haven't heard that song in years.
The one they mentioned in this song.
Alleyways and Avenues or whatever.
Yeah, what was it?
32nd Avenue.
52nd and Broadway.
Yeah, 52nd Broadway.
Yeah. When they said 52nd, I immediately thought of the Billy Joel song.
They always say 52nd and Broadway, and I always think of 53rd and 3rd. But yeah, this is a good album, man. I don't know.
This is a better than a good album. This is an excellent album.
I don't know what else we can say about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention they had 3 singles off this album. We'll throw in real quick. That was
Yes.
Roots Radical, Time Bomb, and Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho's good too. I enjoyed that one a lot.
On the Roots Radical single that came out right before this, the B-side, I Want to Riot, is really good. And I really wish that was on this album because it was perfect.
Oh, also, was it Junkie Man?
Yeah.
Where they have the spoken word Jim Carroll, and they were reading a poem. Was a poem from, what was it?
It was called The Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, the Basketball Diaries.
Oh, that's right. I read that. Yeah.
And that's where and Out Come the Wolves. That whole part.
Yeah.
Kind of came from. Sorry, we forgot that.
It's a River Phoenix movie. They made that into a movie.
And also, if you're into wrestling, the current wrestler Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott.
She got her name from the Rancid Ruby Soho.
Yeah, and when she moved to AEW recently, she just changed her name to Ruby Soho, and Rancid played her entrance song.
Nice.
They did that live. Which her whole thing now is just straight punk. Like she'll come out in the jacket with all the band patches all over it.
That's about it.
Oh, it's DiCaprio. It's not. I thought it was River Phoenix. It's DiCaprio.
My transistor.
Wait, I missed something. What DiCaprio movie?
The Basketball Diaries.
Okay, all right. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking of My Own Private Idaho. I got it confused with another movie. That's a River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. I believe. I was thinking about the wrong movie.
I don't know how it's possible. I haven't seen either one of those. I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, the Basketball Diaries.
I don't even see that even mentioned in the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anything about the Basketball Diaries and the poem and
from here it says
and the reason why, and they said the reason why they named it An Outcome to Wolves is because at that time that's when all these record labels were trying to sign them.
Getting like
Came the Wolves.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've never seen the Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, it's about junkies. That's like my Own Private Idaho. It's the same thing. It's about junkies.
How's it compared to Train Spotting?
They're all good. I think Train Spotting's probably the best.
More junky?
More junky, and it's probably the best of the three. I would put it ahead of those two. But they're good movies.
I just watched a movie that was like that. It was about a junkie. And it had Daniel Radcliffe in it too. I think.
You know what punk movie I would recommend is SLC Punks. If you haven't seen that, I'd recommend. It's got Matt Lillard in it. Great movie.
Matt who?
Lillard. He was like he played in Scream, and he was Shaggy on the Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh, okay. The tall dude.
Yep.
Okay.
Great movie.
Never heard of it.
I would recommend it.
What is it again?
SLC Punks. It's a Salt Lake City punk.
Okay. I bet you do, Simon. You like nothing like a good chunky movie.
Wait a minute. No, it wasn't Daniel Radcliffe. I can't remember the name of the movie.
All right. We're going to the wheel. Rancid.
All right. Where the hell is the wheel? There it is.
We gotta start that. We gotta start. Or yeah. That's okay. This is bad, and that's really good. Rancid was really good.
Like them freaking Romans, the bums.
There you go.
Spin.
I guess I might want to share the freaking thing.
Let's go to the wheel.
Wheel of Doom.
Spin it, spin it, spin it.
What was that from? That was from Road Warrior 3. What was it? The wheel? What did they have a wheel?
Conan had the Wheel of Pain.
The Wheel of Pain.
Yeah, it was because it was after he.
It was Tina Turner, right?
Yeah, it was after he. The rule was 2 men enter, 1 man leave, and he didn't kill him at the end. And at the end of the.
Oh, and then he had to go to the wheel to decide.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Here's what. I'm all backwards. I got my setup backwards here, and I'm. Got 8 albums left here.
Hey, my second pick.
I
That was Social Distortion.
It was that. It must have
This
just
is my
creeped
pick.
over the
And
line.
it just went over. Okay. Who
I
sings
can't
Sing
read
Death
that.
House? Who's that?
The Distillers,
Okay.
which is fitting because the chick that sings in this band, she used to be married to Tim Armstrong. He kind of like discovered her. There's a lot of controversy with that. We'll talk about too.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's Sing Death Metal.
Death House.
Death House. So it was a. Should I say what? No, I'll say that. It's based off a prison. It was like the first maximum security prison in the U.S.
Sing.
Sing Sing.
Oh yeah, Sing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a famous prison. Yeah.
Yeah, the Death House, which was in it, was like an execution place, and like some 700 people died in it. It's got like the most executions.
You're saying too much.
I'm just giving what the heck is.
You're saying too much. If you want to hear the rest, you got to come back next show.
On the wheel, what's the one that says Black Death? Who's that? Or Black Metal? Who's that?
That's Venom.
That's Venom?
Venom.
Okay.
Speed metal, not black metal. It's like Motorhead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's at the time that was what black metal was, but black metal evolved since then.
Yeah,
Who picked this song, this album? Sing
I
Sing.
did.
Okay.
This is my pick. This sounds great.
So good. Next show, he can get his little butt right up to the microphone and control the airwaves.
There isn't. I checked, and the Wikipedia article for this one's very minuscule.
Okay.
So
it's Sing Death Metal and it's the Distillers.
Sing Sing Death House.
Death House.
Sing Sing Death House
Distillers.
by the Distillers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, this album has some great bass playing as well.
Cool. Look forward to it. I'll start it tomorrow.
It's definitely a lot faster than this album.
Okay.
A lot more attitude.
It's good. It's like Joan Jett on steroids.
Yeah.
I thought she was on steroids.
Well, she might be.
She might be. I'd be scared of Joan Jett. I wouldn't mess with Joan Jett.
Yep, she's from Melbourne, Australia. Brody Dolly. But we will talk about that one next time.
Yes.
Okay.
So 2 weeks. The hell, where does that put us? 2 weeks.
What's 2 weeks? Today's what? Tomorrow's the 10th. So it'll be like the 25th?
Yeah, 25th.
24th?
Oh, I don't have a calendar on here apparently.
Hold on, Roman will get it.
Real
I think
man.
that's fine. I think we're good.
Real man's here to save the day.
Yeah, it'll be the 24th or the 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
So that was Rancids and Out Come the Wolves. 2 weeks from now, the Distillers, Sing Sing Death House. Now, I'm at least 99.8% sure that I've never heard this album.
They had one big song off this one that got pretty popular.
One that made the MTV, I guess you could say.
What year is this album from?
02. I'm
I was
pretty
going to
sure.
say it's.
Oh,
that,
two.
that brings us to our most recent album.
Yes, this will be our newest album we've reviewed.
2002.
Oh, look. I've got time off work this month, so she'll be able to catch the next one, too.
Oh,
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Simon, for
Yes,
for
sir.
stopping in. It was awesome that you were able to be here and drop your own personal experiences with this album and genre. I also want to come on. I got to back up here.
Tacoma, Miss So.
Yes, Tacoma. Always good to see Tacoma. It's been quite a while since Tacoma and I have had some communication. Miss So and Boatwright Family and Collectibles is here as well.
Holding down the fort.
I figure I better get in there and say something since Unruly wasn't in here first.
Yeah. I want to thank Jim and Boat for kind of taking the wheel on this one. This was an album that I wasn't that as familiar as I should have been with, and also want to thank Raul for the assist on, especially tonight, because my system's screwed up. My screen's over there and it's supposed to be over here.
No worries. Got you.
And as always, I want to thank everybody who catches this on the rewind. Please feel free to comment, and if you have experiences with any of the albums that we cover, definitely drop them in the comments and tell us what you think or what you thought of those particular albums. 2 weeks, Distillers. In the meantime, get out there and listen to some music.
Heck yeah.